Hey everybody, this is Talkative Carl back again for another kind of a discussion video, but just like a fun topic that I've been noodling since last week. It's just gonna be like a short thing. I saw at least five slides that I want to show. The topic pretty much is, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, just in time for Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel just up and sprang up out of nowhere earlier this morning. Speaking of which, if you follow me on my Twitter, you can see my friend ID if you want to follow me on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, if you want to just play online with each other whenever. But also follow me in the links in the description, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Patreon if you want to further support the channel. And just be more engaged with each other and what have you. The topic that I want to talk about here is what Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype would you, if you had the chance, what would you make? Something, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, you probably thought about this, because especially after if you saw me playing with my gameplays of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, you see me play all kinds of archetypes, all of which I've done plenty of on my YouTube channel, which you can follow me and check it out. And also, you can see me live playing on my Twitch channel. I play a lot, and like the Cosmo deck that is currently out, where it's like a combination of the Wizard of Oz and Star Wars, and things like Burning Abyss based off of Dante's Inferno, and like Toon World pretty much based off cartoons. And it's like, if I had a chance, what kind of archetype would I choose to make? And I got slides here. Now, keep in mind, I just now thought about this, 'cause I didn't even include on the list. But speaking of like Star Wars, like, why not have an archetype based off of Star Trek? And just like with the Cosmo deck, where Star Wars is mixed with the Wizard of Oz, you can mix Star Trek with something. That'd be a good idea, especially for all the Trekkies out there. Like, I only like, a handful, well, I only, know of, well, I know of a lot of like Star Trek stuff, but more like my cup of tea will be the original and the Next Generation. But that's pretty much it. That, it kind of lost my interest after that point. I think after that, it kind of peaked with Voyager. But anyway, that's, my take. I think have something like, something like machine types based off the starships, like the Starship Enterprise and stuff like that, and with warriors and like aliens, because it's an alien type of deck, or like reptile. There's alien theme Yu-Gi-Oh cards out there, but they're typing reptile, so you can have reptile base, like you have like a Klingon, but something looks like a Klingon, but it's like a Beast Warrior, because it's like a warrior type of race, or you can stick with the reptile thing, but it's not a reptile, but you can stick with like Beast Warrior. I think like Beast Warrior kind of fit with the Klingons, but you kind of like, just standard warrior for like your Earth-based kind of Enterprise members, and like you have like magic equip cards for their like little blaster things. And like you can have like a trap card based off like the teleportation thing, they help them like being down to certain planets and back up. You can have something based off the Borgs, the machine types. Obviously they have to be machine types. Something about like something to do with like the something based off certain scenes, like the engine room can be like a trap card, like, because things blow up in that thing constantly all the time, so you can have maybe like a trap card based off of that. A field spell card could be based off like the headquarters of the Enterprise, not the ship, but like the hub for the starship members. Back at their home base, you know what I mean. like the main hub where all the ships come docking in, or something like that. It's something based off the main hub or like the capital, or like where like people like stationed there, and like they're like the branch where they teach like the new cadets. They can be like their own kind of like magic card or something like that, like a normal magic card. They kind of like do kind of like increase or decrease with like life points or detriment to like an opponent, something like that. But here's my official list. Something off like the slashers, a horror movie monster, because there's like an archetype based off of the mythical like creatures like Bigfoot and like the Loch Ness monster, and you got kaijus based off like Godzilla. So why not have like something based off the slashers? Like, you don't obviously call them the like actual names, but something you can clearly see that they're based off of them. How like instead of like calling Ghostface, you can have it I don't know, Spectre Face. Pinhead can be like Jacket Face, or Needlehead. Chucky, a horror doll or something like that. And it's like, you got like, knives and, machetes and as like the equip cards. Or, like Pinhead's little, puzzle box things could be like, like a normal spell card to help, get him like a rituals card. He can be like a ritual monster, and like obviously because he's summoned by the box, so you can have the box be like a ritual spell card. You can summon him. The Dreamland, where like Freddy usually based in, he could be like a field spell card or something like that. Where like these kind of monsters. I don't know what kind of name of the archetype they can be. You can still call them slashers. This is to say that by all intents and purposes, the slasher archetype. And like you have like chop cards like like an image where like they're peeking behind a corner, is like they're about to like get at like a unsuspecting victim. Like you can call it like death behind every corner or something like that. And like maybe like a spell card based off some unsuspecting woman answering a phone call in terror kind of situation, and like it can be a detriment to the opponent in some fashion. I think that that would have been like an interesting take on it. If I had my way, I put this on first because that's the first thing that came to mind. Something based off the slash. Because I'm putting these things because they haven't been, so far as my knowledge, has not been done yet. Next, I think an archetype based off military branches would be cool. Because I got this idea based off from like Cyrus Truesdale deck with the Veocroids. But I'm thinking like, why don't we have like something based on, not even just the modern military branches, like military branches all through history. Like you got the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, Coast Guard, the what else? The Green Berets. Something based off of these guys. Kind of like the same way, like if you watch my previous Yu-Gi-Oh GX Season 2, when I talk about this new character called Bonaparte, who's pretty much like a joke on Napoleon, and he has a deck based off like Napoleon's soldiers who dressed like Napoleon's soldiers. And he could have something similar to that. One of the archetype was is obviously warrior. There's like a warrior archetype still, but specifically geared towards military related cards. You can have like kind of like Alistair from Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters Waking of the Dragon season, or at least season 4, where which I don't think I ever brought it up when I did that review. And that's probably my highest review of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Season. Still numbers still going up on my channel, so you can check it out and hear my take on that season. But Alistair, obviously being born from war-torn countries, and he has like certain like science soldier and like tank corps and stuff like that. It's like it would have been awesome if they actually, because I don't think they actually put in that much effort into the maybe because it's story-based cards and not an actual card, but it could have like at least maybe in like it's not in the English dub, but it's more so in like the manga, because I don't think the manga party they got the basic stuff off the manga obviously, but they could have put in some thought and say like, okay, he obviously born in a war-torn country, so his cards should be based off like actual soldiers, military branches. So it'd be like, if he has like an actual tank, make an actual. I mean, there's tank machine cards already out there, but actual official things like a tank, strictly from an army base, and like a trap card, based off like like in like an army base, or a field spell card maybe. You can have certain weapons, like an assault rifle, something like that. Not like an actual assault rifle, but because English, Western thing, gotta make sure it's kid friendly, but obviously something kid friendly related to certain weapons of the military branches, or like helmets, or even like WWE1, WWE2 kind of military branches as well. Something related to that, maybe not actual cards, but support cards based off past branches in history. And, it's like kind of like, I'm thinking also like the same way to how like all these branches work in symbiosis with each other to make like like the U.S. like such a superior fighting force. Like the elemental hero deck has these cards like the H Heated Heart, E Emergency Call, R Righteous Justice, O Oversoul, and you have a separate card called Hero Flash that pulls all those together to make like a powerful combination combo to deal out significant damage using one elemental hero. And I figure you have something similar to that, where it's kind of like maybe like a card called like U, and next card S, and another card A, and you can just have it like a separate card spelled like I don't know, like USA USA Action, or USA Today, or not want to say USA Today, but it's like kind of something like that, where you can bring up like different soldiers that obviously represent each of these branches, and you can resummon them, and they can deal out direct damage to an opponent. Maybe like not with their attacks, but like 500 each monster on the field. You can also have like machine types based off their military vehicles. Like you can have like a jet inliner, like some kind of form of a jet based off an Air Force fighter pilot jet, or like a Navy SEAL, like Navy SEAL, like obviously Navy SEALs, but also the Navy's carrier, something based off of that. That is my take on it. That's I would be interested to have something like that. And it's kind of low tier option, but it's something that'd be kind of interesting to have, like an archetype based off of the holidays. Like at least like mascots, had to be like the actual monsters, like Cupid warrior, like not actually like a baby, but actually like a and not like in a full blown diaper, but it's like in like some kind of like like a Greek robe or something like that with an actual bow and arrow, kind of like a Gaga Archer in a way. You have like uh, as some kind of like leprechaun mascot thing, you know, something based off like the mascot of the Fighting Irish for the Boston Celtics. Something similar to that, but not in stereotypical, obviously, but actually like a full cut shredded like guy in green, like a green suit with like a green top hat with a four-leaf clover sticking out, and he's like, got like these like Muay Thai kind of wraps around his fist. And he's obviously warrior type. Easter Bunny, like a actual hardcore looking bunny, beast type. Uncle Sam for 4th of July, another warrior. Santa Claus, another warrior. Like more like something based off like Klaus, the Netflix show Klaus, something like that, where he's like actually can like hang with the best of them. And then you can have like something like Rudolph would be like an kind of like a union type of monster. And you have like a separate card, a support card, like his red nose, Rudolph's red nose, as like a magic card that helps summons Rudolph to the field, or at least summons Rudolph or Santa to the field, because Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer story. If you like, he paved the way and he lights the way for Santa Claus on his Christmas journey. New Year's Baby could be like a just like a magic or trap card. But something with Hanukkah, maybe like since it got like I don't know, something like a menorah, or like the commandments, something like, well, I mean not commandments, because it's like, gotta be careful with like certain religious stuff, but something with like a wild turkey for like Thanksgiving. It's just something fun with it, kind of like very the Melodolce archetype, something on that kind of rhythm, or like the ghost trick, so something on that rhythm with these like holiday icons, to make a archetype with those things. Here's a fun one. It'd be cool to have like a Yu-Gi-Oh archetype based off of like fighting video games in general. Nothing like specific, so it won't be sued or anything like that. But obviously, with some kind of inherent obviousness, kind of like the way, with like the Cosmo deck, is clearly they have like lightsabers, but they don't call it lightsabers. So something similar to like Mortal Kombat, where it's like a ninja dressed in black and yellow, or just yellow, obviously based off of Scorpion, and like some kind of judo fighter based off of Ryu. It'll be just cool. It's like you have like certain field spell cards. Maybe like, I think in this archetype, it'd be cool to have not like, probably like this one particular archetype to have like a very significant amount of field spell cards, just like in the video game, how like different stages set the tone to where the characters are fighting. Field spell cards probably are a must for an archetype like this, where they set the stage for different fields to do different things, and like depending on how like it benefit or become a detriment, but still benefits you in some manner. So I thought that would be cool for this particular archetype. And of course, like it's not even just Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, or Street Fighter, but you can also have like Soul Calibur kind of base characters, something with like different, they come equipped with different equip cards, just like Soul Calibur has the different characters with their own distinct weapons, and like like nunchucks, swords, uh, different kinds of swords, like a sword whip, like Ivy Valentine. Tonfa's like Black Orchid from Killer Instinct. Something like to that vein. Something based on M. Bison has that psycho power, and like Akuma has the Raging Demon. Something have to be like there's got to be a trap card based off of something like that. Those are obviously trap card type of moves where you can obviously make them counter trap cards, because it's fighting type. Fighting is pretty much based off like countering and overpowering the opponent, or at least using their strength against them half the time. So counter trap cards, a lot of equipped magic cards, and field spell cards is probably like a must in an archetype like this. And finally, obviously, gotta be careful with Disney. Disney's taking over every doggone thing, but it'd be a cool idea to capitalize off of this and make a Yu-Gi-Oh archetype based off of some Disney films, like a character based off of Elsa from Frozen, or Tarzan, Mulan, Hercules, Aladdin. Obviously Beauty and the Beast. I mean, it'll be a cool idea. Obviously, these can be different in typings, but like usually warriors and beasts, and maybe spellcasters, because a lot of magic based. Because Elsa gotta be a spellcaster. Also, the genie, because La Jinn, the mystical genie of the lamp, and then there's and the lamp that goes with them obviously goes hand in hand with that. But it's going to be like a separate thing. They're like a very distinct thing, because obviously they have to be called something else to make them their own archetype. Because there's like the tunes, this should be called something. I'm going to say Renaissance. Or because like the D Renaissance. Maybe the D Renaissance, or is that still too close? But something like that. And like obviously you gotta have like certain heavy with magic in these movies. A lot of these movies are like heavy with like magic, so obviously you gotta have a heavy with spell cards, but still have significant trap cards. It'd be cool to have a trap card based off of the training camp of Mulan in the middle part of the film. Especially like that moment when she got climb up that big pole and try to catch that arrow at the top, something similar to that, and call it something based off the song "Make a Man," something like that, and then like you gotta have like a spell card based off of the willow tree from Pocahontas to help in some manner. And obviously Pride Rock has to be like a field spell card. That is a must have to be a field spell card. It's the most iconic looking image in in movies. One of the most iconic images in movies, especially animated movies. Aladdin has to be a warrior in some fashion. And along with Princess Jasmine. And a matter of fact, it should be heavy with female oriented warrior type women in this archetype, because it's heavy with it's like a good substantial amount of female powerhouses in these films. Ursula, gotta have a card based off of Ursula. Hercules, obviously. Meg in some fashion, Hades, Mushu. There's a lot of Disney animated films out there, but we're gonna stick to obviously the Renaissance had to be the must. But something like the newer ones in like Brave and Frozen, but it's so many of them. You gotta mitigate that in some fashion, but then build off of it, or at least. Because it could be a lot of those, but you got to leave it up to the person or the duelist to pick and choose how to make that, minimize that to like at least 60 to 40 card deck. and make sure it balances out properly to make it work. Those are my uh, uh, ideas of what kind of archetypes that I would like to make myself, because all of these are pretty damn good ideas, and to my knowledge has not been done yet, or at least made it into their own thing. But I'm curious to know what your ideas would be. Like, what kind of Yu-Gi-Oh archetype would you create yourself? And leave a comment below, and I'm curious to hear your ideas. And yeah, it was gonna be short. It's something that's been noodling in my head, and I really wanted to talk about it for a hot minute. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, because I want to play some more Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel, some solo mode, trying to acquire some more cards and build a proper deck. 'Cause I'm still in the early phases here, because it's gonna be a long road ahead of me before I build really strong decks. Because you get 20 cards here in this one, not like in Legacy of Duelists where it's probably half that. You actually get 20 slots, so I can have at least 20 different types of decks, most of which based off of the actual anime characters: Yugi, Joey, Kaiba, Zane, Jaden, Joey, I already said Joey, and so on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So, I'm looking forward to that journey with you guys. So anyway, I will see you guys soon. Take care. Be safe. There's gonna be a lot of videos be pumping out in the next 3 days, because I won't be going back to work till Sunday. I've been going to work almost every day, so that's why you've been seeing me with little videos out there. I wrapped up Pokemon Brilliant Diamonds, so you can check out all the videos on my YouTube channel. Now I just got to make sure I get Halo Infinite done. I'll get to that tomorrow as well. So anyway, looking forward to those videos and a new Chaotic Lore video as well tomorrow. So anyway, see you guys. Be safe. Be well. Oh, and yeah, a new movie review. Obviously, a movie review I got geared up for tomorrow. So look forward to that. So peace. Be well. Have a great night.